I can't believe it's raining on Valentine's Day. I mope as I look out the window. It's not fair. No, it's the weather, Virginia teases as she helps braid my bangs back behind my ears. Maybe it'll rain on my wedding day. I hear that's good luck. Is it? I ask. I didn't think that it had been raining the day that I married Hieronymous, but then again, maybe that explained a lot. I heard you were supposed to throw rice. I thought that was good luck. If this is your way of encouraging me to start a food fight after we make the contract, then I am all for it, Virginia teases. She seems to be in a much better mood since Jacob's parents had decided to host the wedding on the 1st of March. That was a good thing, too, because I was in no position to console her. I know I shouldn't focus on it, but the scrying orb was starting to give me more and more visions. Crows with 2 sets of glowing red eyes. A purple sun over a green meadow. Something golden thick, like honey, being poured into a stone pitcher. That same stone house accompanied by the sound of a woman humming. I had no idea what any of it meant, but it seemed ominous. I knew that Hieronymous would just tell me that I was being influenced by a demon, which is why I decided not to tell him. Instead, I reached out to Melodia, who warned me that foreboding feelings were a sure sign to keep my loved ones close. I couldn't keep Hieronymous as close to me as I would have liked, of course, but I hoped that these ominous signs weren't a signal that Virginia's wedding was going to turn into a disaster. There's a knock on the door, and Virginia scoots aside as I rush over to open it. Hieronymous! I say happily, bouncing on my toes. Hieronymous smiles down at me, no doubt unnerved by the other girls running up and down the hall. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, he echoes as he steps inside. I shut the door behind him as Virginia sits back on her bed. How's it been, Grabs? She asks, and Hieronymous rolls his eyes as he kisses my forehead. Virginia, he says curtly, Tori tells me that your wedding has been moved up a few weeks. It has, Virginia says as she leans forward suddenly. You're not going to tell my parents, are you? That depends, Hieronymous replies as he runs his fingers up and down my back. I can't help but lean into the contact, but I try not to make it too obvious. I will keep your secret, so long as you keep Tori out of trouble. Virginia cracks a grin, looking obviously relieved. Okay, Hieronymous, you've got yourself a deal. So, where are you two headed this evening? I am meeting with the king of a neighboring territory tomorrow, Hieronymous tells me as he smooths back my hair. So, unfortunately, I cannot spend the night. What? I ask, my heart plummeting into my stomach. Wait, what do you mean you're not spending the night? I thought we could at least have dinner at the Glen, he replies, and I can't help but stare at him in shock. And that's it? Virginia pipes up from behind me. You're just going to take her to the Glen and bring her back here, kiss her goodnight, and head back to your own room? What are you, a freshman from Toad Hall? I need to leave tonight to make it there by tomorrow, Hieronymous responds curtly as he turns back to me. I will be back in a few short weeks for Virginia's wedding. We can spend more time together then. Why didn't you tell me? I ask as I pout up at him. You could have told me you weren't going to be able to spend the night, or you could have come on another day. I already missed our anniversary, Hieronymous says quietly, smoothing back my hair again. I miss you too, Tori, but remember, the more time I spend working now, the more time we have to spend together after you graduate. Okay, I mope, leaning my forehead against his shoulder to try to disguise some of my melancholy. Did you at least bring her a present? Virginia asks, and Hieronymous just quirks an eyebrow at her. My dad travels for work a lot, but he always buys my mom something from every new place that he visits. Hieronymous visibly blanches, but I quickly come to his defense. He's already got me the amulet, Virginia, I remind her. That, covers him for the next 100 Valentine's Days. But not even a teddy bear? Virginia continues. Roses? Chocolate? A card? He can't get me chocolate because he knows you'd eat it all, I tease her, and Virginia huffs as she crosses her arms over her chest. Well, I'm just going to be here all night, she says with a pointed look in my direction. So please pick up some ice cream and chocolate while you're out. We can stay up all night commiserating over the people we were forced to get married to. I try to stifle a laugh. What about Becky? She has a date, Virginia hums. She skipped class and spent all morning getting ready. Then she took off around noon. From the way she was acting, it was one of those don't wait up kind of situations. Wow, is the only thing I can think of to say. Yeah, Virginia confirms with a curt nod. Wow, I repeat. We need to talk more about this, but later. Right now we should go. I look up at Hieronymous. Unless you want to spend your Valentine's Day here. We could eat dinner in the cafeteria. I think they're serving tacos. Let's go, Hieronymous says as he takes my hand, leading us out of Horse Hall. You know, we could always kick Virginia out of the room for a few hours and cast silence on it so no one hears us, I point out. It would probably be a much better use of our time than going to get dinner at the Glen. Do you not want to go to the Glen? Hieronymous asks as he glances down at me. No, I do, I admit. I mean, I want to have a nice romantic dinner with you, but the Glen doesn't exactly scream romance. It was where we had our first date, he replies. I thought it might be poetic. Oh, I ask him. So should we check out one of your thick tomes from the library and head over there? You can read quietly to yourself while I just sit there and sip chai. Are you so sure I was reading? Hieronymous asks as he arches an eyebrow. Perhaps I was just too nervous to figure out what to say to you. You're never nervous, I say as I grin up at him, unless being aloof and dismissive is your way of flirting. Perhaps it is, Hieronymous replies. It seems to have worked, hasn't it? I suppose it has, I say, considering it made me constantly feel like I needed to impress you. I know that sounds bad, but it was like a challenge to constantly push myself to be better. Impress me now, then, Hieronymous says as we reach the gates of Iris Academy. Would you like to do the honor of teleporting us both to the Glen, Lady Grabiner? I can't help but grin up at him. He had never asked me to teleport us both together before. Maybe it was just because he wanted to conserve his mana, or maybe he really did just want me to show off how much I was learning. Whatever the reason, I was more than happy to do so. It would be my pleasure. I take his hand in mine and teleport away into the night.